All right, for those that came by the live streams, you know that I tried to do a hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Violet, and I actually failed my Nuzlocke videos coming soon. But this is Pokemon challenges, and he has an even harder version of that challenge for us. So let's hop right into it and see what we think. This is how I beat the hardest Pokemon Violet challenge by Pokemon Challenges.
So Pokemon Scarlet and Violet are out, and what better way for me to celebrate than by trying to make the games impossibly hard. On my first playthrough, classic hardcore Nuzlocke rules, pause now to read them, aren't going to cut it for an unmodded game though. I crave a bit more of a challenge. So, just like I did in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond, I'll be resetting my game immediately as soon as only one of my Pokemon faints. I'm not kidding. Here's a clip of attempt 2.
Pretty
in which I
tough.
find a wild Curmudgeon encounter, underestimate its attack, and lose my skip bloom.
Dang.
I immediately proceed to delete my save data and start the game over. In this run, you'll be seeing the painful ways this game forced me to replay its tutorial over and over, as well as what I believe to be the most broken starter in Nuzlocke history, what strategy I used to take on the Elite Four and champion in this game with a team of only 2 Pokemon, and me pushing this game to its absolute limits on my very first playthrough. On Pokemon Challenges, I'm probably the best Nuzlocker in the world, and this is the Pokemon Violet Deathless Hardcore Nuzlocke.
Let's go. That
I began
font looks
attempt
really
1
nice.
and realized that Game Freak removed set mode? Cool. Guess we'll be mashing B every time I kill an enemy Pokemon. It's fine. This is only like the 5th time that Game Freak has done like a small thing like this. Just a few middle fingers. Anyway, I picked Quaxley because
It's actually so unbelievable they removed set mode. Like, why? Did they do it on purpose? Surely it was by mistake. Surely it wasn't on purpose that they removed set mode because they know how many people like to play on set mode because it makes the game more difficult. And it makes it play like it does when you play competitive, which makes sense. So stupid.
like no matter how much Game Freak fucks up, their character design team is just, they just can't miss, okay? Quaxley is so cute. My first encounter here is Lechonk, and okay,
butchered it.
Hold on. Let's slow down for one last time. I'm sorry. How do you even determine your first encounter?
Yeah, that's
in
what
this
I'm
game?
curious about.
In previous games, this was easy. You would simply walk into grass and receive a randomly rolled Pokemon. The whole challenge in Nuzlockes was that you had to adapt to the encounters the game randomly gave you. Now, they're all running around in the open. At first, I tried to just close my eyes and run into them, but
I tried to do
with
the
the game
same
having
thing.
set spawn locations for each Pokemon that felt not random enough. So what I started doing eventually was getting a list of every Pokemon that spawned in any given area and spinning a wheel. This has the added benefit that the wheel sometimes lands on a rare Pokemon that I then have to go hunt for, which seems a little closer to the intended game experience, I guess. After mashing past 2 hours of cutscenes, getting my first few encounters, and playing that copy of Rocket League,
I think what I'm going to do is I'm either going to pick my encounters or I'm going to do something like that where I put them on there. I put every Pokemon that's in the area if they have those tables for me and then do that. I haven't decided if I want to pick my encounters and then make it harder by making it to where I can only have, like for each boss fight, I can only have the amount of Pokemon that they have. I'm going to reattempt this at some point. I just haven't quite decided how I want to do it yet. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do it the way that he did it. I'm not
that I
sure.
ordered on Wish, I quickly figure out a workup into wing attack setup with Quaxley to sweep Katie and get my first gym badge. I now head through this town, whose major landmark was very clearly animated by the company that made the highest grossing media franchise in history, to face
Look at
Arceus.
that. It's so
I set up
ugly.
spikes to break his
This
AC
game is so
with 30,
ugly.
but completely underestimate this Pokemon's bulk. Even with Sharp Beak and Workup, Quaxwell cannot kill here, and man are my other encounters dog water. I unfortunately have no outs and have to take my first death, and with it, a reset all the way to the intro cinematic. Seriously, this Sudowoodo is a menace. Grass Rock is actually a really vicious combination. Every type that can hit the grass type Pseudo super effectively gets killed by Stab Rock Throw. This is a super well designed fight. At this point, I'm feeling like this game is extremely hard. I even make a Twitter post about it, and people in chat are telling me that the late game gets even harder. Sounds like I'm in for a treat. Attempt 2 actually makes it all the way past Iono, but as you saw, dies to a random wild Pincurchin encounter because I wasn't properly leveled within my level cap. That's just about 10 hours down the drain, it's no big deal. Okay. Attempt 3, Katie. I have no idea what came over me, but I somehow made 3 sloppy mistakes building this team. 1, Fuecoco is not holding the charcoal it's supposed to be holding, which leads to me missing the kill range on Teddy Ursa. 2, this Mareep isn't evolved, despite being at evolution level. 3, this Shinx is also not evolved. A Pokemon that were it evolved could easily switch into Katie's Teddy Ursa for a kill. My only out is to go for a Bite Flinch, which I do not.
Why aren't they
This wipe
evolved?
was definitely deserved. Even the best Nuzlocker in the world has an
Oh, yeah, because the stupid auto battle doesn't evolve your Pokemon. That's so dumb. That happened to me a couple times. I was like, what is going on? Why are my Pokemon not evolving? It happened with my Garchomp. You have to, like, you had to do it in the fight. Like, then what's the point of auto battles giving me experience? Oh, my God.
By attempt 4,
Cringe.
I finally figure out that if played correctly, Fuecoco basically sweeps the first 2 gyms on his own. Bronzor, another very important encounter, helps him out here. Steel types do extremely well into the Sudowoodo, and I rolled one of the only early game ones. But damn, this fire starter is pretty good early game. I'm sure it's balanced by falling off in the late game, right?
Nope, even better in the late game.
I'm currently foreshadowing. And now I'm lampshading. And now I'm letting this joke overstay its welcome. Before facing Iono, I spin the wheel for my East 2 encounter and find out that
Now I'm
somehow
letting this joke
area
overstay
has
its welcome.
Mimikyu. Just chilling in the ruins. Yeah, this thing is my encounter. Let me help you understand why Mimikyu is so good in
It's
Nuzlocke
so
with help of
broken,
today's sponsor,
man.
NordVPN. The most important thing in Mimikyu's kit is its disguise ability, which will protect it from the first move that the opponent uses on it. Much like NordVPN can protect you by disguising...
Skipping.
By disguising
Skipping the
your
end.
online account, you can switch it in. With a way to switch Mimikyu into one of those, you can always get a free move off thanks to disguise. Mimikyu is protected by its immunities, kind of like how you're protected by NordVPN's anti-malware. As the user, it protects you from malware. The moves that Mimikyu gets are quite powerful. It gets Woodhammer extremely early.
Woodhammer? Holy
you can use
crap.
Shadow Sneak for a priority kill on something if you can switch it in with disguise. It's a fantastic Pokemon for Nuzlocke, and it's really, really fun to use. And NordVPN can make the internet more fun to use for you by allowing you to
make it stop.
And happy. They have 24/7 or use code. Iono is another really well-designed fight. Her Miss Magius has Levitate and transforms into an electric type, making it have
Basically, Mimikyu is busted because Disguise is busted, and it's also a fairy type, which is one of the best types to be. It's a physical attacker that gets Shadow Sneak, so it gets a prio move that is based off of its best stat, and it gets, like he said, Woodhammer for just a ridiculous amount of damage, plus ghost moves have access to a lot of shenanigans. So Mimikyu is just really, really hard to kill, and it also is pretty fast and does good damage. It's just a really, really good Pokemon in my opinion.
I actually had to figure out a pretty clever setup here.
I like
to ensure
Mimikyu a
clean
lot.
kill on it.
It's probably
I know
my
that
favorite
the AI
Pokemon from
will always send
Alola.
out the ace last. Knowing this, I can use her weak Luxio to set up a situation in which Mimikyu can come out against Miss Magius with its disguise still up. Remember, I'm not using switch mode. I use Knucklestack's Salt Cure on Luxio to do continuous damage every turn. I then time my switches perfectly so that Crocalor can come in and yawn. Luxio now falls asleep and is guaranteed to sleep on the last turn that Salt Cure leaves it alive. I can use this turn to get a safe switch in for Mimikyu. Now, was I really proud of this setup on stream, only then to realize I forgot to give Mimikyu a Persian Berry to deal with Confuse Ray? And did Mimikyu then hit itself, breaking its own disguise?
Oh,
yeah, I did.
man,
it was
hurts.
a really cool setup, okay?
Oh, it was such a good plan, and then he forgot to give it the berry that it needed. Oh, but really good plan, really smart. I don't think I would have thought. I wouldn't have thought of that. I don't come up with this strong of convoluted of plans. I just kind of have what I have, hope for the best, and send it usually.
Luckily,
which is
Attic
why I
continues to
lose
play
way
with
more than him.
Who can swap into a Hex and is bulky enough to tank hits from Miss Magius.
Nice.
With the additional damage from normal type Terra, it can two-shot the X Ghost type and get us a 3rd gym badge. Something weird happens in this game at this point. All of the gym leader fights have been really well designed around their Terra Pokemon so far, but after Gym 3, it feels like Game Freak kind of gave up, or probably ran out of time. Combine that with us getting a lot more encounters and reaching critical mass to where we can cover a ton of options, the fights here start to get a lot easier. Like, this Work Trio set in Gym 4 is just so trash.
Doesn't
Is it
even
just
have
me?
4 moves.
The Crabominable is still kind of a threat, to be fair. I can, however, get Mimikyu in with Disguise up again by switching the Cloyster, who will always bait a Fighting type move from Kofu's Ace. Mimikyu can then come in on the Fighting type move, which is immune to and have Disguise still up. Woodhammer can get a completely safe and clean kill, and win us our 4th gym badge. Larry's gym puzzle and writing make him my 2nd favorite gym leader in the game, but his team is, again, extremely underwhelming.
Garbage.
Miss Magius with Levitate completely walls his Dunsparce, or Bronzong, or, well, any rock or steel type
That was a
walls his
Mistras, but
Staraptor,
okay.
and whatever his other Pokemon was so insignificant that I already have forgotten what it was, and cannot be bothered to look it up. And my friends, this...
It was Komala. It was so... It's so true, dude. Komala is so freaking cute, and I love it so much, but it's such trash. Bro, I want them to give it an evolution that's like a freaking bad big buff koala bear. Like, that's what I want. It's so cute, but it's so worthless.
Is where the runs start.
I love Kamala, though. It's so
Enter
cute.
Skeledirge.
Oh, baby. Skeledirge.
This thing is busted. Skeledirge's signature move in this game is Torch Song.
Yes, it's disgusting.
It's a fire-type move that boosts special attack whenever used. How much base damage would a balanced version of this move have? 40? Hey, maybe 60. Charge Beam has 60, right?
Oh, it has 80.
Charge Beam was only 50% to raise special attack, and it wasn't perfectly accurate like Torch Song, but it's a signature move. It's balanced by its distribution, right? Torch Song is 80 base power.
Yep.
It's basically almost a flamethrower.
Yep.
After using it once, it becomes a fire blast in terms of power. Torch Song is also a sound-based move, so you can use it in combination with Throat Spray to get a +2.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Use. In addition to that, Skeledirge has pretty crazy bulk and has a secondary ghost typing for stab shadow balls, as well as the handy immunities and resistances that come with it. If you're ever threatened by dark or other ghost type moves, you can simply click Terrestrialize, keep your ghost stab, and get rid of its weaknesses. Oh, and also give an additional 1/3 boost in power to your completely busted Torch Song. Does this Pokemon have no downsides? Well,
it's
has
slow.
one. Its speed is very mediocre, a pretty important stat for a sweeper. The issue, however, is that this game grants you every tool possible to mitigate this. The Choice Scarf is already available for you to buy after you beat Larry and unlock Crocolore's evolution via the next level cap. Additionally, you get the power items for EV grinding extremely early, as well as unlocking bottle caps to max out your IVs, and mints to change your nature after Gym 6. A max EV, IV, and plus speed nature Skeledirge can be obtained within about 30 minutes after getting the 6th badge.
That's
because
disgusting.
enemies don't have speed EVs in this game, Skeledirge's one weakness is completely eliminated. Gym 6 is a double battle and has this interesting mechanic where you and
Bro,
the
I
gym leader
hate
can get
EV and IV and nature. I hate having to do all that grinding, though. That's why I'm really enjoying like Radical Red right now, because you don't have to EV grind. You can just swap your nature at the Pokemon Center. Like, I love taking the grind out of it, where it's all just about playing, getting the team you get, trying to come up with a strategy, and trying to win. I really love that. I hate the grinding is the only part that I dislike about Pokemon. That's it.
from the crowd. You get offensive boosts for killing a Pokemon and Omni boosts for terrestrializing. You can stack these in your favor extremely quickly, however. Rhyme will only terrestrialize her last Pokemon, and the boost doesn't come in until the end of the turn, so by the time she makes any use of the gimmick, you've already stacked Skeledirge to max special attack and are annihilating her team. Mabostiff and Bronzong give us an easy time in Tulip's Psychic Gym, and the trend of the gyms not really having good coverage continues. Also, wow, this gym puzzle is shit. I will say,
Oh my
the
god,
Bronzong
that
encounter is
puzzle
really
was
nice.
terrible.
That
Bro,
flows-
I thought you had to try to like spam it as much as you could when I was playing. And so I was spamming it, and then I realized that just slows it down. You just have to press it one time in that time frame. Oh my gosh, that puzzle was so bad. I hated it
There's probably
so
a
much,
third
man. I hated
Gym 8
it.
is more of the same. Skeledirge just sweeps by clicking Torch Song, and holy fucking femboy, I did not think a Pokemon game would make me feel this bisexual. After clearing the extremely repetitive, but honestly really cute Team Star storyline, seriously, how is every character on this plotline an LGBTQ icon? And defeating the rest of the Titans, it was time for the Elite Four. The madness does not end though. At this point in the run, I am bloodthirsty. Planning for the Pokemon League, I spot something incredible.
Doesn't Scarf Croc sweep like most of this? I feel like, chat, I feel like we should be able to set up a Cloyster sweep. Wait, 2 Pokemon Elite Four?
White Herb Shell Smash Cloyster sweeps
Two
the Elite Four members
Pokemon
here.
Elite Four.
Skeledirge sweeps the remaining one, Poppy, whose ace Pokemon curiously looks exactly like a character from League of Legends, who is also named Poppy. Wait,
We don't talk about that.
Cassiopeia?
We don't talk about
LP?
that.
No, the rift is calling. No, I can't. Let me go, please, I have to finish the script. No, I have to finish this video. Please let me. Drunk on my own hubris, I challenge the champion Gita, still with only 2 Pokemon in my party.
The crossover that we never knew we needed. League of Legends and Pokemon.
I go for the Throat Spray Torch Song and realize I've made a huge mistake. Espathra has a new ability called Opportunist, and using it, it just copied my +2 special attack. I am in crit range.
Uh-oh. Oh.
I'll be honest, this
Dodge
was
the crit.
incredibly careless and probably should have cost me the fight, but I'm still in huge trouble. Gita's Veluza has Aqua Jet. I run the calculations to see if my run is over, and
Chat,
Oh no.
max roll Aqua Jet?
Oh
62.
no.
He didn't go for it.
Wow.
Macht's nochmal spannend am Ende.
I don't know what that means.
Nice.
It's unbelievable and a little bit unfair how lucky I got here. I complete the sweep with Skeledirge and Blaze and earn my champion title. The last part of the game is, unfortunately, still extremely easy. The only team that has some sizable threats is the final battle with Nemona and the very last battle of the game. But at least for Nemona, I just have access to too many broken tools at this point. A Heracross I caught in the northern province and then EV trained outspeeds and one-shots Nemona's entire team. The dude with the Futurama dog has a bit of a joke of a team, but I do appreciate that all of his Pokemon except the dog are food themed. Penny is legit just evolutions with quick attack, and Clavel gets, you guessed it, swept by Skeledirge. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge cynic, but this next part of the game is actually insanely cool. It's by far the most well-executed final section of any Pokemon
I
game
did like
ever
this.
made. And that's mostly
This was
thanks
cool.
to the absolutely phenomenal writing throughout the game. Both the original writers and the localization team blew all of my expectations for a Pokemon game out of the water. This section is so well written that I'm going to give you something I normally super don't give a fuck about, a spoiler warning. If you haven't yet played the game and you feel like you might enjoy it, it might benefit you to tune out now and go play it yourself. The buggy, laggy, and incredibly ugly disaster of a game that comes before this section almost makes this worth it. Alright, they're gone, guys. Jesus, this game looks like shit. Seriously, look at this grass texture
It's
in
so
the crater.
true. Look
Is this
at it.
Banjo-Kazooie? What the fuck is going on? Am I losing my mind? Do you guys really think this is acceptable? This section would have been the coolest shit in any Pokemon game ever if the developers had actually been able to optimize their game for the console they were hired to make it for. Jesus! Anyway, the writing is really cool. This is an amazing idea for a final battle, the AI that goes rogue. It's so interesting because this is the first Pokemon game ever that has no villains. Anyway, more on that in my full review of the game, coming soon.
Yep, it's ugly as crap.
Hero leads with a Pokemon with
The story
4
was
times
pretty
weak to
good.
Skeledirge's Earth Power, and I immediately get a one-hit KO. The reason I'm leading Skeledirge here is because I actually know...
I'll be honest, though, the Herba Mystica story with the Titan Pokemon wasn't that incredible. It was just heartwarming to see him, like, doing all of this for his Mabostiff when I thought he was going to be a bad guy. The Team Star stuff was like a good little kid story about not bullying and standing up to bullies and blah, blah, blah. But this part was pretty cool and actually a little dark that his, like, dad was gone at the end. This part at the end was kind of cool. Like, the last, I don't know, hour of this game, maybe. I don't know how long it took me to complete this, but the last, like, quarter or less of this game was pretty good. The rest of it, absolute garbage. I don't even like very many of the new Pokemon either, to be honest, and I used only new Pokemon on my playthrough.
How the Switch in AI works already. It's the same one they've been using since Gen 5. AI simply looks at which of its Pokemon has the highest base power moves. It considers type effectiveness, but not stab. Iron Barb's Earthquake and Stone Edge are the most damage for Skeledirge here, and it gets sent in next, scoring me a clean double kill with a second Earth Power on a 4 times weak Pokemon. Next up is Iron Jugulus, and holy shit, why have I been streaming for 22 hours at this point? Anyway, Thick Fat Azumarill with an Assault Vest can 1v1 this, and the Rogue AI wants me to catch these Iron Hands next. Among Us resists the Electric Fighting Stab, however, and can send the Imposter all the way to Medbay with a Degenerate Toxic Strat. Iron Bundle has my entire team on its naughty list, but Ampharos will come in to be our Grinch and zap Santa Claus back into non-existence. For this final turn, Turo plays Polymerization, sending Gardevoir and Gallade from his hand to the graveyard, and special summoning Iron Valiant from his extra deck. But as was so often the case in this run, Bronzong can tank this monster of a Pokemon. Unfortunately, the second Heavy Slam leaves Turo's ace alive with a sliver of health, but we can avoid the final crit chance of the game by switching to Mimikyu and checkmating with Shadow Sneak. No death, hardcore Nuzlocke. Oh! And that was the deathless hardcore Nuzlocke of Pokemon Violet.
Pretty cool.
Honestly, I think this run actually has the potential to be really interesting if you were to ban EVs, Nature Mints, Bottle Caps, Setup Moves, the Fuecoco line, Annihilate, Palafin, early game Flamigo, Terrestrializing, and using the bathroom for the entire duration of the run. Maybe give it a try with those rules and let me know how you did. Anyway, Ed Sheeran is a talentless hack that has done irreparable damage to pop music forever. This game plays like a pre-alpha release, almost all the new Pokemon are amazing, and the nickname theme this run was Things Not to Put Up Your Butt, so go back through the video and tell me in the comments which nickname was your favorite.
right, well done. Excellent video. If you guys enjoyed my react to that, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you see whenever new releases come out and whenever I live stream. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.